And good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is Mr. Kassarian, and as you can see, we are conducting our orbital burn. All right. This is a GeoEye-2 satellite, destined, hopefully, for the moon. I hope. I really hope this is destined to the moon at any rate. Yep, so we're just burning up to orbit. Pretty standard launch so far. For some reason, it really likes to spin whenever I switch to the second stage. But as far as I can tell, it's not a huge issue. It's a little bit of an annoyance, but, you know, what can you do? Actually, this may be the smoothest burn I've done so far. The smoothest orbital insertion I've done so far, at least. You can see we've lost a little bit of speed coming up, but we'll just bring our engine into a mild, sustaining burn. Burning every now and then just to keep ourselves roughly where I want my orbit to be located. As soon as we cross the atmosphere out into space, we'll actually set up for full circularization. So we're losing a little bit of efficiency because I didn't time my trajectory quite right. But as you can see, we're actually already sitting at a pretty good orbital speed. Actually, I could probably get it even better if I do this, right? There we go. Gently burning, increasing orbital velocity. And once we actually get up into outer space, we can conduct our circularization burn. So let's just set up that maneuver node. We'll just flip that a little bit. Very small amount of delta V required here. And we should be good enough just to coast up into our burn altitude. So we'll just do a bit of physical time acceleration here. As we get up further and further, you can see my actual need to burn is dropping. And once we get above the atmosphere, I should be able to just go into time warp and do things that way. So now that we're just drifting, actually now that we're up here, we might as well pop the fairings, revealing our payload. And as you can see, this is a standard GeoEye satellite with an extra bit of science material added to it, which, you know, should be fairly handy. Let's get our time warp back up and going again. Oh, hey, look, I got a sensor possibility. Okay, the RPWS. Deploying the system now. Okay. Yeah, there we go, and we can transmit that data. Perfect. Okay, research and development, stuff added. Let's pull this back in. Toggle you back in. And we'll just push you down onto that. Actually, it's probably easier if I just set you to node and be done with it. Okay, so now what are we going to do? Well, let's get our Kerbal alarm clock. Add the node, 3-second burn. So we'll give ourselves 0-minute lead time and 10 seconds. Add the alarm, and we'll go up to time acceleration there. Beautiful. Delete on close, close alarm. Okay. And 5, 4, 3. We'll burn a little early. Add a little bit of reduced power. Kill that there. And we'll switch you back to prograde. Good. Okay. So now we're just going to open up our map screen. We'll set... Oh. Well then, I didn't even realize I already had a probe up there. Here's what we'll do. Let's see, because I don't remember why I did this. Switch to, please. What are you doing up here? You don't have the RPWS. Oh, good. We can actually transmit this now. All right. I had to futz with this. Okay. That had to be between 402 and 408. Okay, so we have to futz with our orbit a little bit. Okay, shouldn't be too difficult. Futz with the orbit. Futz with the orbit. Unfutz the orbit. There we go, that should be good. Hit the node. Sprightly little thing. And we'll add an alarm for the node. Add alarm. Let's kick up the time warp here. And come on, come on, come on. Anytime now, computer. Anytime now. There we go. Delete on close, delete on close. Okay, there we go. We'll just do this burn. Oops. Good, okay. And then we just need to come back over to here. And see, these sorts of maneuvers are where MechJeb comes in really handy. All right, so I'll probably just underburn just a little bit. And we will time excel up until we hit there. Yay, okay. We got a bit of government funding. I like to see that. The government funding us is always a good thing. Okay, good. So we can kill that. We can go back to prograde. And it's my orbital inclination. 83. Maneuver. Should be good right there. We'll go to node control. And we'll add another alarm. See, futzing with orbits. Seriously? I had to decrease my inclination there? Alright, alright, alright. So here's what we'll do. Alright, let's kill that. Add a maneuver. Do that. We'll just add a little bit of that into it. Come on. Nope. Okay, so we'll have to futz with this. Oh, that's fine. All right, so let's kill the node. For heaven's sakes. All right, so if I burn... like that. And then we will delete this node. All right. So that's at that, and that's way too high. Okay. Add maneuver. This is not the most efficient way to do this, but I got some delta V to burn. So let's see. That's going to go... There we go. 462. Okay, beautiful. Okay, add another alarm. What are those annoying things you have to do? Just futzing with orbits like this is a pain in the rear end, because the orbit I needed for the ScanSat didn't quite match up with the orbit I needed for everything else. So we'll delete clone close. And we will go off prograde or off retrograde. Delete that. Add maneuver. Good. Okay. Go back to node control. Add a maneuver. Right on top of the node, pretty much. Add the alarm. And we're also going to have to get that next probe we have in orbit coming over here, because we need to do some scanning. And I'm hoping that all of this should allow me to do some fun stuff, probably in the next episode, I'm hoping. Crossing my fingers a little bit, but we'll see about that. All right, so we'll spring down the node. Delete on close, please. Okay, so now in our monitoring mode, we have the proper orbit, so we need to hold that for a day. We'll just go prograde with this. Beautiful. Okay. So that's done. Let's take a look at GOI 2. Switch to, if you be so kind. Now what we're going to do with GOI 2 is we're going to put it into a Munar orbit. Yes. A Munar orbit. All right, so we're going to set as target. Hopefully we are at least relatively on track for it. And we're just going to push our orbit out like this. With a nice little prograde burn there. There you go. And if we can get it, all right, so we're crossing in front of the moon here. It should be good enough for us. All right. Go back to node control, please. Did you just... Wonder why it isn't seeing the maneuver node. Interesting. That's very interesting. Interesting indeed. There we go. That is very interesting, isn't it? It's not seeing that maneuver node at all. Well, that's new. All right, let me see if I can fix this. Be right back. All right, so exiting out and restarting Kerbal Space Program fixed that little bug. Not certain what caused it, but that's neither here nor there. All right, so let's say you got 15, 30 seconds on that burn. Shouldn't be too bad. All right, so let's add the alarm. Give ourselves about 30 seconds on the burn. And let's time warp ahead just so you guys don't have to sit through it. And yes, by the way, as this is happening, we are ticking down the counter on our other machine. Stabilizing physics load. And hey, I ballparked that kind of pretty much right. Now we're going to have to switch engines partway through this little routine, but that shouldn't be too bad. And you guys have seen, you know, Munar insertion before, but I figured I'd just do this while I'm doing it. So if you guys want to see less of these missions, then just let me know, and I will, of course, do less of them. And only show you guys the major bits. Let's bring it down a little bit. This engine is actually way too powerful for what this stage is doing. Okay. So let's go off. Map info. And we're going to smack ourselves into the moon. And it appears the KSP can't decide if I'm encountering or not. This is like a borderline case issue. It doesn't really matter. Probably as soon as I hit to time warp, it'll figure itself out. So let's start. Yeah, there we go. See, now that I'm in time warp and physics isn't applying, it's figured itself out. Oh, okay. I have one of these things. All right. Oh, because I'm in high Kerbal orbit now. So it's going to pop out the antenna. We'll transmit the science, and we'll toggle the antenna back in. Extra 9 science for us. Not bad at all. Okay, so let's kill this. And let's go back into time warp. And we're just going to time warp out to... I hope I actually get the encounter here. Otherwise, it's going to be real silly. So let's see if we actually get that encounter. Sometimes in these borderline cases, you have to... You have to kind of guess at them a little bit. There we go. Okay. So, let's do this then. Now, the further out we burn, we're going to take advantage of... yeah, all right. So we can't quite do it there. Oh gosh. Prograde. I hadn't even realized to hit that button. Actually, let's go radial. There we go. That's a little bit better. Okay. Whoops. Okay, so let's kill this maneuver node. What we can do, however... is give ourselves a node. Come on. Add maneuver. What we can do is something like this. Okay. So that's what, 232? So if I pull that back, 231, 229. I think what I want to do now is sort of something 261. Yeah, it should be okay. And that's going to eat a little bit of my delta V, but that's neither here nor there. So the further out you make these changes, the easier they are to make. Add the alarm, please. Yeah, the further out you make these changes, the easier, the less delta V they take. And I'm being kind of fast and loose because this thing really isn't intended to do much more than enter Munar orbit and stay there. Close the alarm, please. That's close enough. All right, so we will add a maneuver here. We want low Munar orbit for the pass. A nice 20,000. Not quite that low. At least. Okay. So that... I think 26 will keep me clear. Switch back to node control. And let's add an alarm. 0 minutes and 5 seconds. Add the alarm, please. Now we can actually, while we're up here, we might as well RPWS. Transmit the data. Log magnetometer data. Now, it's going to claim, it's not going to give me signs for that because I think we've already done it, but it'll still log it in that. Okay, so let's toggle the magnetometer, and let's toggle the RPWS antenna. Perfect, okay. And now you can go back into time warp. Do. And we're slipping back behind the moon. And if we give it just a couple seconds, let's delete this, close the alarm. Good enough for government work. Okay. So now all I should have to do, okay, we have the correct orbit and everything else. Let's warp to the periapse. And there we go. Okay, so we can do a magnetometer scan. From a low Munar orbit, we'll transmit the data. And we'll do an RPWS scan also from low Munar orbit. Transmit the data. And that should complete this all right. There we go. So let's see. We got 75, 75, 50, and 50. Beautiful. Okay. So now what we're going to do is we're going to kill this alarm, add maneuver. And we're actually going to boost our orbit back up a little bit. Awesome. Add maneuver. And because what we're doing is we're actually going to put this thing into a scan orbit. And my inclination should be close enough. Perfect. Okay. And then we'll come back out to here. Add maneuver node, please. Should be good enough for government work. And so what we're doing is we're putting this thing into a ScanSat orbit because I actually do have ScanSat instrumentation on this thing. I do, yes, other than just the scanner that I have located here. Because what I have is this magnetometer. And what I can do is I can use the magnetometer to scan for ore. You and I only know what sort of ore this thing will actually be scanning for. Some sort of ore. Okay. Delete on close, close alarm. We'll just do a somewhat mild burn. And we'll right-click and start the ore scan. There we go. Okay. So that's all set up. Now, all we have to do is go back to the Space Center. Hopefully it's still tracking that scan probe we had for the ScanSat junk. Oh, crud. Huh, I had to maintain orbit up there too. Oops. All right, so let's fix that. I forgot that that has a very long maintain orbit timer. Okay, GOI2 fly. Yeah, it's if you notice on that scan there, this one, right? Maintain proper orbit. Oh gosh, not again. Yeah, something's getting foobarred with this. Okay, so let's yank all this crap back in. Toggle. Toggle. All right, so we'll just freehand this a little bit. Excuse me. Oh, now my throttle's not working. There we go. Okay. There we go. That should work. Okay. It's scanning. It won't be quite as effective. It has to be up there for 160 days, which shouldn't be too much of an issue. All right. And the reason I'm saying it shouldn't be too much of an issue is remember that we have Kerbal build monitor thingy majigger mabobber. Right, that thing. Kerbal construction timer. So what that's going to do is it's going to mean that this is going to take much longer to run. All right. Fly this. Apparently I had to keep control of this thing for this mission to actually work. So that's fun. Orbit must be stable. I wonder why it's not starting orbital track. Interesting. Okay, so it doesn't want to confirm this. So what I'm going to do is, because it's bugged out, I'm going to go Alt F12, contracts, okay, and then altimetry scan of the moon, right? And then I'm going to hit complete. Because obviously that's a bug. Sometimes that happens. I shouldn't have switched away from it, but I just wasn't thinking, you know, just a derp moment. Contract complete. Let's close that, and we can go back to the Space Center. And I don't know why whenever I fly my ships, it's starting me off at half-time Excel, which is really quite strange as I think about it. Okay, but we have 413 science. Nice. Okay. So what can we do with this? Well, then, that's a good question, kids. Orbital surveys. We have advanced flight control. Maneuver and translation. That'll be nice to have. All right, so let's pick... What else does this give me? This gives me RCS, some RCS controls. That's good to have. All right, so let's get that for 90. We have heavy rocketry. That's nice. We get the skipper. And I think we get that. And we get fuel systems. Actually, we should wait. Hold on. Let's close this out. And let's... That's going to cost a lot. Upgrade. Ow. All right, so let's open this back up. Because, if I'm not mistaken... Huh. Node resize. Where's the node resize? Float gear, gear bay. What I'm actually looking for is the resize on the nodes. SRB nose cones. Interesting. Okay. And then let's get ourselves... We need fuel systems as well. And that's very interesting. I wonder why I can't get... Specialized control, I know. Precision engineering. Well, this is all the box set crud. Which is cool. I mean, don't get me wrong. It's cool. All this stuff is pretty cool, actually. AES junk. Advanced electrics. That's pretty nice. And advanced exploration is also pretty nice. I can't open up any of that yet. We might as well get aerodynamics while we're here. Yeah, it's just kind of one of those. Yeah, might as well. All right, so let's click that and get that researched. We get supersonic. Oh, subsonic flight. Okay. Micro-ducted fan engines. Nice. Okay. Cool. We also have orbital surveys we can research fairly soon. Okay, so I'm not... Let me see something here, because I should be able... Unless my install is kind of weird, which it might be. I should be able to get procedural... fuel tanks. Oh, nope. Okay, I can get up to 2.5 now. Okay, good. I was worried that for some reason it hadn't. Okay, so in the last couple minutes we have, let's start building a new rocket. And, so we're going to get a mobile processing lab. And then, let's see here. We should have docking ports. Yes. So we can get a passive docking node here, right? I don't really have the pod for this yet, which is the issue I'm going to run into here. Okay. Well, let's take a look at our solar panels that we have. Yeah, our solar panels aren't great yet. So we can do that and that, right? So that should give us some solar power. And then let's go command and control. Yeah, let's drop to utilities. We have floats, small inline passenger compartments, single Kerbal plus baggage. Well, it's always good to have some baggage. Okay, what can I do with all this? I can use a science cam. I'm in utilities, right? Well, let's do that. Let's get a hex core. I didn't want you to resize there, buddy. Okay. And then, so we need a food bag. Structure off, please. Food bag. Gray water tank. Okay. Oxygen. I could use... This is actually a good question. A waste tank. I like having the structure off on these, to be honest with you guys. A water tank. And did I already put a gray water tank on this thing? Yeah, okay. So let's check what you say. We need more food. We need more food. Food bag. Okay, water we're a little low on. That's unfortunate. Because I can't quite get up to the next level here. Though actually what I can do... So I can pull everything off of this, right? We can go up to an octa-core. I didn't want you to do that. And we can start pasting this stuff back on. Now the nice thing about this, by the way, is that even though we can't store any carbon dioxide yet, I need another food, water. Okay. Water tank, water tank. Well, we need another gray water tank. And then we need another... Well, do we need another gray water tank? Nah, it should be fine. And we do need another water tank. Good, okay. That should be good. Alright. We can paste that back on the top. And that'll give us a little bit of extra space to put some more crap on. I'm not certain what we'll be putting on, but we'll put something on there. Okie dokie. And then... Well, I can do this too. Alright, so let's do this. So put you here, right? And then we'll put... Our battery bank can go on like that. And like that, right? And then what I can do here is go back to solar panels. And put you on there. And we also want something in the antenna variety. Like that. Excuse me. Perfect. Okay. And that's a passive docking port. So go back to docking ports. We'll go non-androgynous docking port passive. And we'll staple him on there. Life support checks out. We have 2 days worth of electricity on this thing, which is good to see, of course. And that's perfect. Okay. So now if I go to aerodynamics, I should be able to get a fairing base. Beautiful. Now, the only downside to this design right now is that I don't have a probe core on this thing. Actually, what I can do is I can remove this, right? Put that on there, which makes this thing a little bit bigger than I'd like. Yeah, it looks a little bit oniony. There's not quite enough space there to do this. So, this will be a non-crew passable docking port, I'm pretty sure. We just need something to hold in there. And if we go into utility, structural maybe? I need a procedural structural element. No. That's apparently not what I need. Nope. Also not what I need. This becomes more and more complicated. Nope. Nope. Yes. Okay. And why do I not have modular fuel tanks working? That's interesting. That's very interesting indeed. Alright, so we'll shove that waste tank on there. We'll shove that guy on. And that's a little big. Just a little big. Yeah, okay. So that design idea was good, but it looks like it's going to be a bit impractical just because of launch consideration issues. Because if I do that and I attach that, you can see it makes it kind of a big bulbous fairing here. Though I suppose it could work. We'll see. Anyways, I don't have really much time to launch this right now, so I will see you guys in the next episode. This has been Mr. Kasarian. Thanks for watching. And as always, guys, I'll see you in the next episode. Bye.